might go under Yoski. But 2018, Yahuwah year. That's it. Period. Brand new. They already know where we at. See, if you say I came out the blue, no, I didn't. you just couldn't see me. That's it. But if you see me, that means that the plant have finally started to grow. The tree started to grow. That's why you can see me. We started from the dirt like Adam, though. That's Yahuwah smoke, though. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Smoky.
Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else.
J13 lifestyle. Ooh. I'm just a young brother with standards. Just a young brother with some standards. I ain't settling for the trash. That got them all in they bag. No handouts, all pass. They call a brother brunette. The who got me on the pad. Yeah, cost a brother never crash. I'm just a young brother with some standards. Just a young brother with some standards. I ain't settling for the trash. They got them all in they bag. No handouts, all pass. They call a brother brunette. The who got me on the pad. Yeah, cost a driver never crash. Standards. I never go below the bar. I'm straight. When you a son who care about the star. Lawyer. It's only right I had to pass a bar. That Torah. This rule walk up the park. I got Yahuwah out. Now I'm able to do a lot. Yeah. When I say I got this drive, ain't talking computer. Yeah. Loaded with script. You know I'm a shooter. Spraying the scene with some life. Watch out, let me do it out. Ooh. Yahuwah got me employed, don't it? Mighty life keep me poised, don't it? Nothing over here's voice. This is truly my choice. Lost a whole lot of net. Gained a whole lot of faith. See a whole lot of mirrors. That's why it's hard to debate. Really brewing what you doing. Only siding with the order. Spent a lot of time playing. 9 days I can't afford it. My world account looking crazy. My heavy balance look amazing. Free smoke for the nation. I'm just a young brother with some standards. Just a young brother with some standards. I ain't settling for the trash. That got them all in they bag. No handouts, all pass. They call a brother brunette. The who got me on the pad. Cost a brother never crash. I'm just a young brother with some standards. Just a young brother with some standards. I ain't settling for the trash. They got them all in they bag. No handouts, all pass. They call a brother brunette. Yahuwah got me on the pad. Cost a driver never crash.
I'm gon' thank Abaya for the ability to hear the music of the future. Everything that I was taught has prepared me for the job, yeah. I'm stepping it up, I hear the call, I won't tarry, so I'm hasty. I got my issue with me, we honor the Shabbat and we do it regularly. I'm switching up the flow, no. They can't deceive us no more. Our focus, we chasing money, so unimportant is vanity. We stuck in tradition, we just be doing what we told. We need a solution, we can never lose hope. We must stop with the hate cause we bruise. Heating this voice won't lift you. Out with the old come the new. I learned nothing in Sunday school. The way that you feel is irrelevant. The words that you speak, I can smell the stench. You must be led by the Ruach to understand. On my Shiach, I lay it all on the line. On my Shiach, he calls the shots. He's around me around the clock. If you come against me, you gon' flop. Everything that he is, you're not. I'm hearkening to what he say. Cause there ain't no better way. What am I supposed to do? It's a struggle every day. On my Shiach, he calls the shots. He's around me around the clock. If you come against me, you gon' flop. Everything that he is, you're not. I'm hearkening to what he say. Cause there ain't no better way. What am I supposed to do? It's a struggle every day. We must teach the word to the youngins. Cause they are the wave of the future. We gotta heal our nation. We gon' stitch it up like a suture. We are the light, so we set the trends. We go all out, we're not on the fence. Out with the old and with the new. Down with the ruach, I'm coming through. Ready for battle like a soldier. Hit it out the park like Femi Sosa. I give reverence to Yah, Toda. Follow my Shia, Yahshua. We must compose like we are the elect. You will be proved, you must pass the test. If you come, you gotta come correct. So Yahshua will come give you some rest. On my Shia, he calls the shots. He surround me around the clock. If you come against me, you gon' flop. Everything that he is, you're not. I'm hearkening to what he say. Cause there ain't no better way. What am I supposed to do? It's a struggle every day. On my Shia, he calls the shots. He surround me around the clock. If you come against me, you gon' flop. Everything that he is, you're not. I'm hearkening to what he say. I am. Cause there ain't no better way. No way. What am I supposed to do? What it do? It's a struggle every day.
Yeah, I used to struggle with righteousness. I did. Now all I do is the righteousness. I do. I know you who are the mightiest. Yeah, all in his bosom you find me. Yeah, fine. I see these haters lovation food. Yeah, cause all that they do now is try cat. This is my culture, I took it back. I'm riding too high for the lower tax. Yeah. Came a new man where they know me. I came a long way from the cul-de-sac. Yeah. Got comfy in y'all, what's adversity? Yeah. This smile on my face equals certainty. These rockin' rolls, I just buckled up. These cocky foes, y'all gon' hush them up. Esteem your hula, you know that's so much. Yeah. He the power, I put all my trust.
On my Shia, he calls the shots. He surround me around the clock. If you come against me, you gon' flop. Everything that he is, you're not. I'm hearkening to what he say. I am. Cause there ain't no better way. No way. What am I supposed to do? What it do? It's a struggle every day. On my Shia, he calls the shots. He surround me around the clock. If you come against me, you gon' flop. Everything that he is, you're not. I'm hearkening to what he say. I am. Cause there ain't no better way. No way. What am I supposed to do? What it do? It's a struggle every day.
Shalom, 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. It's Michael Israel. Back on our regular Shabbat morning lesson. Rocking my Sword of the Spirit hat given to me by my aunt, Michael Norman. Shout out to Michael Norman. As you know, last week we didn't have a Shabbat lesson. I was up in Detroit, an amazing conference. It was life-changing. I'm not just saying, oh, it was life-changing because, you know, people always say that, but literally I'm making some big changes in my life based on some of the information that was brought out there, like some huge changes. But yeah, it was an amazing conference. I live streamed basically everything. Definitely watch those two workshops with Pastor Dow in it, and listen to Pastor Dow's Shabbat lesson. Probably the first lesson you want to start out with is Ron's lesson, where he tells you what's coming, some of the technologies that are right around the corner or in place now. And then you can listen to Pastor Dow's lesson so you know what to do. And even I'm still getting phone calls from people talking about, like, they want to implement the stuff that Pastor Dow was bringing out. I mean, there was a thirst for this information from a lot of people. I've been getting a lot of phone calls. It was just, it was, I know the Most High had already put a thirst for community living and community building in my heart, and he just put all the pieces in place in the course of a week. Yeah, a lot of big things happening. So yeah, let me say shalom to everybody in here. And for those of you who are my regular viewers, you're gonna notice we're gonna have a whole lot more viewers, because made a lot of met a lot of people up there. But shalom to Virtuous Jeddah, Solomon Binyah, shalom, Ayana Price, shalom, Shaka, shalom, Sean, shalom, good to see you in there. Truth be told, shalom, good to see you in there. Will of the Most High, good to see you in there. Solomon Ben Yah, good to see you in there. Shalom. Yah's Heart, shalom. Lynn, shalom. BT Mitchell, shalom, good to see you in there. All right, let's see who else we got. I'm coming over there to Facebook. I'm just going through my Judith, shalom. Divinely Awakened, good to see you in there. All right. Angie123, shalom to you. Umbry White, Lauren, good, shalom, good to see you in there. My Mo Sight, Big Mo, shalom, man. You ain't been hitting me up, man. You say you been wanting to come on. You gotta let me know, family. Shalom to Tommy. Miss Diamond. We got diamonds in Florida now. Miss Diamond is here. She is down here in Florida. And I apologize. I ain't been able to get down there. I'm going to get down there. That's the other thing, man. People saw, they saw the work that, me and my ox put in up there. And, a lot of people have, invited me to cover some of their events. So, like next weekend, I'm going to be in Houston. So, if y'all are in Houston, Texas, I look forward to seeing y'all out there. But, yeah, I'll be in Houston doing some... It ain't just vacation out there. Trust me. The stuff I'm going to do out there, it could potentially be real big. International type stuff. Yeah. So, look forward to meeting all those brothers and sisters out there in the Houston area at that event out there. I'll put it up later what the event is. It's Peasy's going to be performing there. So, it's going to be a good event. Shalom to my Ak Aliyah, Elder Aliyah. Shabbat shalom to Zanik. Shalom to Tovia. I didn't get that right, I'm sure. Aviz, shalom. Christy Matlock, shalom. Tommy, shalom. Good to see you in there. Josiah, shalom, man. So, yeah. And shalom to Glover. Shalom. Good to see all y'all in there. All right. So, what I'm going to do, we're gonna begin moving forward. We're gonna get into the lesson. I know more people will be coming in later. But we're going to get started. And the title of this lesson is Biblically Righteous versus Self-Righteous. So, and this lesson is going to be deeper than what it appears on the surface. And because what I've seen is, you got people who they put on this facade, this act, this I couldn't even, I guess the best way to call it, the best way to say it is okay, what I was doing was just looking up the definition here in a Bible dictionary. Then and it's basically the same as the definition you get anywhere else. But basically, what righteousness is obedience to the Most High Yah's laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay? That's what that's what righteousness is. Growing up in church, you see when they say righteousness in church, it's hey brother, and it's kind, nice, happy behavior with a cheerful attitude and never hurting anybody's feelings, and everything you say is happy and cupcakes and bubblegum and flowers, brother. Hey, no. You know what I'm saying? But when you begin to look in the word at what righteousness is, you know, when they stoned that person and burned them, that was righteous. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's what this lesson's gonna be about, because people have a false idea of what's right. And when a person who's truly righteous comes around, they look evil to them. A lot of these Christian people or Christian Hebrews or whatever they want to call themselves, like a lot of these people who walk around with this church idea or definition of righteousness, man, they would have been trying to correct Christ when he went over there and flipped over the money changer's table. They'd be like, hey, brother, you got to be nice, brother, sin free. You got to be righteous, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's how they would have came at Christ. You know? David was righteous. And I say this all the time. When you like, because people just kind of read over stuff and they don't put themselves in that, they don't really digest what they're really reading in a practical way. When you gotta think about it. When King David went down there and fought Goliath, the whole nation, which knew God better than knew him better than we know him, better than we could ever know him right now. Like, they had everything at that time, all the understanding, the books, the government, you name it. Okay, that's why I don't get like, me personally, I don't get real deep into figuring out all this deep doctrinal stuff. I keep it surface level, because they knew they had a complete understanding of this word and what the Most High wanted. But the whole nation was scared. It was just one man who went down there and did what he was supposed to do. So, like, I'll have debates on spiritual combat that's going to go down. There'll be debates on here and stuff like that. But for the most part, majority of my stuff is overcoming fear, spiritual development. And I'm saying all this because when a righteous person comes around, we have been deceptively programmed to look at them as evil, and he's speaking hate, he's hurtful, he's abusive. Like, abusive, you're verbally abusive. It's like, dude, verbally abusive. But that's why we're doing this lesson today, because I know what you're saying there, Sean. But that's why we're doing this lesson today, because our people don't understand how deep the deception is. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand how deep the deception is. Okay. Hey, y'all. It's saying Facebook is acting up. Y'all let me know over there if it's acting up, y'all. I'm gonna just watch. It's saying it's skipping. I'm not sure. Y'all give me hit the thumbs up button on Facebook if it's good, y'all. Bezalel, what's going on, man? Yeah, hit that thumbs up button if it's good over there. and Lukewarm, he said hokey pokey brews. Yeah, that's like you're hooking on Yasha Allah. He said the Hebrew hokey pokey. He said you put 1 foot in, you put 1 foot in the truth, and you take 1 foot out, and then you move it all around. That's how these folks are. They half in, half out, man. And but we can't be moving like that. And I'm telling you, you gotta really hear what I'm saying. Now, let me get, because I'm being serious. It's like I'm telling y'all don't. Most people haven't really been around real men, real masculinity, real righteous men, and let alone real righteous women. Okay? I'll put it to you like this. And I can't even remember some of their webpage. There's about 3 YouTube shows or channels that I've seen with righteous women on them. And I'm talking about, I've watched tons of them. I found out that there's actually some more, but when you see it, it's like a lot of people be like, oh, that woman's brainwashed. And I'd be like, yeah, she is brainwashed. She washed all that crap off her brain and she's speaking truth. Because our women, majority of women in this culture, in this society, are not brainwashed. They got boo-boo brain. You know what I'm saying? All right? But yeah, I've seen them. They're out there. And it's the reason you don't see too many of them is because for the most part, they don't want to be out there up in front of a camera running their big mouths all day. You know what I'm saying? There's, and I'm not going to go off into this real deep, but there's a thirst and a need for them in their community or whoever they're around. They're in demand for the skills they have and what they do. I mean, if you want to know where the biggest need is in the Hebrew community concerning women, it ain't up in front of everybody running your mouth. We need them in the household. I mean, look at us. We're running the fast food stores to get our food. We're sending our kids to the public food system. Okay? And then when they come home, we got to spend extra time deprogramming them. In the meantime, you got women trying to fight you for leadership positions when we don't need it. And again, bringing it back to what I'm saying with biblical righteousness versus self-righteousness. The brainwashing from this society is, to have a woman in a home, educating the kids, feeding the family so they're not getting poisoned by this society is oppressive. To have a powerful wife, a strong wife, like Ron Dalton's wife, who raises 8 kids, soon to be 8 kids. Oh, that's oppressive. No, that's not oppressive. That's impressive. I'm impressed. Sister Koya Israel said she was impressed when she met Ron's wife. You could feel the strength in her as a woman. You could feel it. And she is a lioness behind a true lion. Real talk. I look forward. I'm gonna be going out there to to Pastor Dow's community, but I talked to his wife on the phone when I talked to Pastor Dow, and I've watched her. She from time to time she'll get on there, and the women will be like, "Oh, she's brainwashed," and I'd be like, "Yep, she is. Her brain is very clean, and she ain't got all that crap up in there like the women in this society do." But what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna sit there and because people are like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean, Michael? What you talking about? Why you saying stuff like that? Because I don't like, and y'all know on Spiritual Combat, I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all stuff, tell y'all a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna show y'all. You see what I'm saying? And then that way I don't. That's why there ain't a bunch of debating and complaining on here, because I don't just say stuff. I show it to you. I show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, you didn't get a notification for the live. Yeah, you got to click that bell on there. So, yeah, you got to click that bell and then you'll get that notification. But we all good. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do is show you biblical righteousness in a whole bunch of different areas. So, and of course I can't cover, I can't show you every area. But what it's going to do, I don't have to show you every area. You're going to begin to see it for yourself. Okay. But it's imperative for me to not just say it, but, said Caribou. Yeah, it's important for me to begin to show it to you, and then you'll begin to see, okay. And what you're going to see with what I'm saying is you got people who, there's a group of people who are led by the word, and they let their emotions get aligned with it. And then you got other people who are led by their emotions, and they bend the word to align with that. And a lot of times when I'm watching people, because like I said, I've learned to watch people's footwork. I've learned the Bible says you will know them by their fruits. For me, this was one of the biggest lessons I've learned. And I'm still growing. I ain't sitting here saying I done arrived and all that. But I'm still growing. Because there's a lot of spiritual growth that needs to be done. I mean, we're spiritually hindered in this, in Babylon. But one of the biggest revelations I've had recently in the past months or whatever is how imperative it is to watch fruit. You can listen to them talk, but you gotta bring together what people are saying, what people are doing and what you're seeing, and put all that together and pull your emotions out and look at it for what it is. And it's really saved me a lot of time in my life dealing with people. It's really helped me out big time. Dealing with certain people and understanding that, hey, everybody ain't where I'm at. Some people are still working. They're diligently working. So I'm not like, oh yeah, they wicked, I'm done with them. It just, some of this stuff, it takes time to grow in these areas, just like it took me time to grow in these areas. But it's imperative to watch people's footwork and understand that overcoming your emotions and aligning your emotions with the text instead of aligning the text, the Bible, with your emotions. You got to understand that, that's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? And as you do the work of self-development or spiritual development, spiritual combat, you overcome these emotions and align them with the word and everything like that. as you do that, you begin, it also improves your discernment. You can spot right where other people are at, and you know how to meet them where they're at and deal with them where they're at, whether it's in marriage, relationships, whatever you're doing, work, all that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Hey, Mikael Gabar, shalom, Mak. Good to see you in there, soldier. That's a soldier there. All right, so yeah. So let me pull up my stuff here, my notes. One of the things, there's a lot of fear, okay? And I found one of the most efficient vehicles for lighting a spark to go to war, to be a soldier. When I say go to war, I'm talking about with yourself spiritually, overcome things that are holding you back. You know, in a lot of my lessons, we talk about overcoming pornography addiction, lust, fear, bitterness, unforgiveness, especially with the women. A lot of women are harboring bitterness and unforgiveness for things that men have done to them when they were young and stuff like that. They've had abortions. They're murderers, and they haven't repented of that. They justifying it and shoving it away way in the back of their mind somewhere. And what they don't realize is what it's doing to them. It's like a corrosive acid in the back of their spirit. You see what I'm saying? You got to let that go. There's a demon on that thing. Sometimes you have to want it out of you, and you might need somebody to cast it out, or you might do it yourself. Pray, fasting, seeking the Lord. Okay? But the spark to go into war with a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about, and with, because these basic core level things that I'm talking about here are things that will hold you back from accomplishing more things on the surface level. Like the Most High might want you to, he might took you through all this stuff so that you can be a witness and minister to other women or men or whatever. Just like me, he took me through alcoholism, pornography addiction, being a spiritually castrated, emaciated man, all the way up to the other end. And now I can help other brothers and sisters out there. But the spark to doing that is you gotta face death. You gotta look at death. And this is some heavy stuff. I want y'all to understand this, but all the biblically righteous people, the soldiers, even the people who ain't in the truth, but dudes that I consider stand up real men, have faced death. They've seen it. They've dealt with death, and not in a fearful way. Me, I dealt with death at a very young age, because like from the age of like 5 or 6 up till I was like 10 or 11, there were so many funerals. The crack epidemic was sweeping through. Now, I wasn't in the hood, but there was just a lot of death in our family, so we went to a lot of funerals. And I'd sit there at the wake staring at these bodies and just consider, like, yo, this thing ain't Disney World. This crap ain't forever. Your little flame could be extinguished today or tomorrow. What have I done? And you're looking at it. Some of the real brothers, some of the real people I run into, even in the military where I work at on base, I work around Marines who have killed. They've messed them up over there in Afghanistan and stuff like that. Killed kids, had to kill kids because they were coming at them. They had bombs and all that stuff on them. But it's a different spirit. There ain't no weakness in them, dude. And when I say ain't no weakness, there's no fear in them. For me, they're the most pleasant people to be around, because they'll check you. They just so straight up. It's like, it's just easy and pleasant to be around. You're never guessing where you stand with them or what's going on with them. They're not difficult to deal with. But if you some sensitive, emaciated, castrated, in my feelings, man, you'll be like, why do you have to say that to me? Why do you tell me not to do, because the dudes will tell me, they're like, Mike, you're effing up, blah, 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 but they just straighten the wreck. And I don't know, it's the same thing with football players. When I used to play basketball, a lot of, at the gym I played at, a lot of high level athletes, because it was real competitive where I played at. I was one of the shortest people on the court. And if you ever met me, you were the shortest. So that kind of tells you. But the thing is, a lot of football players, that warrior mindset, that no fear mindset. And the quickest way to get rid of a spirit of fear is to see death. Hunting, like Pastor Dow was talking about, butchering animals, is for a boy around the age of 12 or 10 or something like that, to see that is so healthy in becoming a real man. In some cultures, that was a rite of passage. Okay. And then when I run into these, when I run into spiritually castrated men who they don't even know that they're the walking dead. They don't even know they're spiritually dead. They don't know that they have a spirit of fear on them. They don't know that their masculinity isn't there. You know what I'm saying? They haven't faced things. That's what I'm saying. Death makes you face things. It makes you go through your emotions. I hope y'all understand. Because what I'm saying is heavy, and this book, we'll go into the book, but there's a lot. I've went through my fear, and it makes me, the reason why a lot of people are unrighteous and self-righteous, because they're avoiding things in themselves. They don't want to face certain things. They don't want to be honest with themselves. And when you know you're going to die probably soon or whenever, and it kind of puts everything in focus, and it's like, dude, and nobody's telling you, hey, face these dark areas in yourself. What happened to me when I was coming into this truth, because I was in and out, backsliding and stuff like that in Christianity all the way up till I was like 27 years old. And then around a little after that, maybe when I was 28, 29, after I had learned how to be a man and deal with women a little better, I got back into the word. But I said, Most High, I was like, I don't care where this truth takes me and how crazy it is. I was like, I'm going with it. And I went in. And but when I realized how sinful I was and how I was caught up in lust and pornography and alcoholism and all this other stuff, and then and I was like, dude, and I'm gonna die like this if I don't figure out how to deal with it, because I couldn't figure out how to deal with it. But once I figured that out, it put everything into perspective. And let me make sure, I'm trying to make sure I explain it right and simple enough. But yeah, I think I explained it pretty good, but it just lit a fire. I was like, dude, I gotta get this thing figured out somehow. Like, I want this off me. And then the Most High sent help and understanding. But all this to say, I understand why people are self-righteous. Like, I know they're compensating, and it's a spirit of fear because they don't want to face certain things in themselves. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see where they prideful and stubborn and stiff-necked, especially in the women. You know? They don't want to repent of things that they've done. These women, a lot of these women, man, they got blood on their hands. But I don't come down on the women real hard because I know at the end of the day, it's some weak, lust-filled, emaciated man that's at the bottom of it. So check this out. Because this is what these women need to understand. This is motivation for women out there who, when I say, hey, a lot of these women out here, whether they realize it or not, they stubborn, they stiff-necked, they don't have a humble spirit. And when I say this is widespread, I mean, the scripture says, children are your oppressors and your women rule over you. And these women run around with Jezebel spirits. And what I do, if I do talk to them or I do see it, I just look at their life a little bit, what's happened, and like almost 90% of the time, there's rape or molestation, or they've been dogged out by men, they done had abortions, and all this stuff, and it creates that spirit in them. And it's a vicious cycle because in return, those women, instead of being subjugated, I mean, they're like, I gotta rule over men, or I gotta be equal to them. And what they end up doing is making other men, they end up spiritually castrating other men. And in return, those men turn around, they're filled with lust, and they go out and create more because they go out and molest and dog out women and just let women down. So it's a vicious cycle, okay? Where you have these domineering women who make excuses for it, and then they turn around and create more spiritually castrated men because they got that Jezebel spirit. They just killing prophets out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the cycle, breaking the cycle, you know, it's everybody's responsibility, but I always look to the men. Like, somebody got to speak up against it and stop coddling it. That's why a lot of ministries, I back totally off of, because like what I'm talking about here, it's not just a man's fault, it's not just a woman's fault. Everybody needs to step up to the plate and get real about this. We can't move forward in any practical or meaningful way unless we get this off us. The statistic I say every day, over 50% of our women have been raped and molested by the time they're 20, and our women are murdering babies at 900 babies a day. Black women are killing 900 babies a day. And you ain't gonna sit there and just say, well, them black women. No, it's the man and the woman's responsibility. And at the end of the day, the men gotta step up and speak up. And that's why I got a problem when Pastor Dow comes out and he speaks up on something and everybody's like, well, he need to be nicer. Well, damn it. The time for being nice done passed. Ain't everybody else? Okay, we got to give them hugs and bubble gum and cupcakes. And then somebody come along and speak against something and he's evil, he's unrighteous. Nah, dude, what that dude's saying is book. Now, it wasn't comely. They said there's a rebuke that's not comely. Hey, but that in his reality and where he lives, he comes and sees other things. It's a shock to him. Me, I'm, like I said, I'm going to show you what's going on. I'm going to show you why folks is like upset. Because come get out of this thing. People don't think a lot of people, oh, we done arrived, the great awakening. Yeah, we waking up, but don't get it twisted. Folks is asleep. This oppression that we're under in Babylon, if it don't stop, we'll get wiped out. All the men are gay, and our women are killing off the kids at 900 a day. Don't be deceived, dude. This thinking, oh, it's going on. We waking up now. Dude, we getting killed at like never before. Even during slavery, they wasn't killing us off at 900 a damn day. Why ain't nobody speaking on it? I got a problem with it. Why ain't nobody saying anything at all? Like I thought after I did, because I've been doing this, I found that statistic out a couple days ago. Nobody's standing up to the Jezebel spirit. It's a spirit on them, and it's a vicious cycle, and they're killing kids off. And why are nobody speaking on it? But a pastor down make a comment, and everybody jump on him. It's self-righteousness. It's, hey, let's tiptoe through the tulips and be happy. Hey, let's do a lesson on this meaningless crap that ain't gonna amount to a hill of beans going forward. You know, let's say it's oppressive to our women to tell them that they should be home having babies. I'm telling you, y'all, stuff like that get me pissed. Because you got clowns out here teaching that, saying, oh, don't let none of these Hebrews oppress you by making you think you got to stay in the house and have babies and cook food. They subliminally contributing to what's going on. And them same clowns won't speak on what I just said here. Telling you, man, it's not a game. It's like, so yeah, with me, when I hear somebody coming down the middle and they ain't veering left or right, he didn't have to say it like that. All right, I'm gonna put the link to the hurt feelings report on my descriptive information so y'all can fill them out. And you think I'm playing? I'm gonna do a show where I'm gonna read all y'all's hurt feeling reports. But when somebody come down the middle and they ain't coddling people, that's the type of folks I rock with. Because you're a Satanist if you're just navigating around all this when we're being murdered like never before. Speak up. Look, spiritual combat is made up of, like last time it was like 70 or 80% women. Dude, y'all know I am not coddling y'all. It don't feel good when you hear this stuff. But if you're a woman and you've had abortions, you need to repent. Because what it's doing, there's a spirit of death and a Jezebel. There's spirits that's attached to that guilt on you. And you've shoved that stuff down in your spirit so far. And these clowns out here, these Hebrew Christians or whatever they call themselves, they do messages to coddle that to where, okay, It's not emotionally hurting, because I'm telling you, yeah, when you begin to face this, it don't feel good. It don't. But that's why I said part of growing in this thing is being comfortable with the uncomfortable. Sin is running from being uncomfortable. And hey, let me tell you, dude, and moving forward, because just hearing that statistic, 900 black babies a day aborted, like hearing that, that's the average. The average was actually above that, to be honest with you. 900 black babies a day aborted, and they making money off it. Hearing that lights a fire on me. And let me say this. When I first heard that statistic, I didn't speak on it for the next 3 or 4 days because I didn't want to come on here and speak without some, you would have got the raw, uncut, pure product with no baking soda on it. It just been, and some of y'all might have OD'd and hit the unsubscribe button because I would have, you wouldn't want to hear, because I was pissed off. I'll tell you this. I saw a snippet of a video of an abortion one time, and I don't cry too often, but it brought tears to my eyes, and I'll never look at it again, or I'm gonna try to never look at it, because I get to, you'll see me come on here and then you're gonna get the raw, uncut spiritual combat. But you understand what I'm saying? Somebody put, that's over 350,000 little Hebrews at 1,000 a day. Yeah. That's why people are deceived. They think some great thing, oppression, getting ready to happen. Dude, it don't get no worse. It can't get more worse than this, because now it's an oppression of the mind. And to the point where people don't even realize they're in a prison. This is the worst captivity ever, because your mind is captive and you're like chasing the handcuffs. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Dude, so the sister put, Sister Lynn put, our influence as parents is so important, dude. Hey, listen, I was listening to this brother teach, man. This is how bad they got. It's like there's women who in these neighborhoods who they can't afford milk to feed their baby. Yeah, like I don't think that registers to you. They don't have milk to feed their baby. The milk's on their daggone chest. But that's how jacked up they got us. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like an alley cat. This is what the brother said. An alley cat got milk to give its baby kittens. A dog, a wolf. You understand? We don't understand how jacked up we are. But I break it down real basic and simple how jacked up we are. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to the women have to step up too and begin speaking up and speak against the people who are not speaking against it. The leaders ain't leading. Like, think about it. Your leader, whoever your leader is, what are they doing? What's his lesson doing or whatever to wake you up, to get these spirits off? You see what I'm saying? Folks is mute. They're just keeping you there for their numbers. You see what I'm saying? They're not, if you watch a spiritual combat, you're going to face yourself. I got to face myself. Even recently, I seen some stuff in myself. I was like, dude, especially if I'm going to do community living, I was like, I'm going to have to fix this damn thing. It's about growth. I see people and I see ministries who just encourage people to never face themselves. And they got some of the wickedest, most jacked up people up in there. Yeah, so the sister's saying, yeah, even when a woman, yeah, you gotta repent and you gotta let it go, and the way you repent from if you had an abortion or you done did something bad or whatever it is, in order to repent, you gotta understand that whole situation through and through, why it happened, why that dude was a dog, what made him a dog, who molested him. Judah Mack came on my show a while back. I'll have him come on again. Judah Mack was molested and was having sex at the age of 5 because his babysitter had him having sex with another young girl at the age of 5, and then when he didn't realize, like, he thought it was a good thing until he began to come to truth, and he was filled with rage and couldn't understand it. That's why I don't just come down on women real hard and be like, shut your big mouth, woman, blah, blah, blah. Or if I do, I'm gonna say, look, this is the cycle. You know, that's what gives me patience and long suffering dealing with women and the way some of our women are in our community or whatever like that. I'm slow to throw them away or push them out. Men too, homosexuals too. You know, I don't hate them. I understand. They said over 90% of homosexuals have been, raped or molested or something. Yeah. So I don't be like, you know, you stinking gayfer and all this stuff like that. You know, you ain't gonna be around me unless you trying to get yourself right, though. You know, because that's a spirit on you still. You know, and I'm not hanging around, you know, spirits like that. But we gonna, you know, you gotta understand where people are coming from. You gotta understand what made you the way you are. You know what I'm saying? The other thing, the men who haven't been raped or molested, like me, that never happened to me, but if you ain't got that, Satan gonna hit you with that porn. And I definitely was into that. I was a one-handed internet bandit, for sure, for years, until I had to get that demon off me. And I delivered myself from it, but because I could literally, and I can't, of course, it's like a spirit world, so you can't put it into words, but I knew something was there. Like, I could see something was there in me. Okay? Something me and Pastor Dow were talking about is, I was like, a lot of these ministries, and this is why I like his, is because a lot of these ministries, they're bringing the demons out of them. They're casting them out. I casted demons up out of me. Okay? But that's not the big amazing thing. A lot of them act like that is what's the big amazing thing. No, that's the easy part. The hard part is keeping them out. Like, after I got my demons up off me, I wouldn't drive past certain billboards. I wouldn't go out. I stopped talking to anybody except my family. I stopped watching TV. I didn't watch any more television. All I was taking in was book. All the way up to this day now. It's been years of doing this. And that's how you keep them out. Because you got to put something in the house. Because they come back to the house and they see, hey, it's clean. They can be like, hey, he cleaned it up and he didn't put no furniture in it. So they're going to bring their demon friends in and they're going to have a hold down up in your big knuckle head. And you're going to be right back in it worse. And the reason I said that, a lot of these ministries, they'll cast something out, but there ain't nothing else there. They're not telling you to abstain and live a disciplined life. And align your emotions with being comfortable in a structured environment. That's why I look forward to going up there to Pastor Dow's place, because they're in an environment where I'm already sure, like, them kids there are a different breed of kids from, these kids around here. It's like with my kids, I'm constantly warring against, because they got to go to the public school system, and it grieves me. It grieves Coy that we got to send them there, but Pastor Dow provided answers this weekend on that, on how to come out of that quickly. Okay. So those women who are aborting our seeds are not properly trained or educated in the word or in social justice for the people, period. If they knew better, they would do better. Yeah. And if you want to check this out, y'all, I'm glad you put that there, sis. If y'all have ever seen me really get fired up, I get real mad, like, because I don't get pissed and angry and fired up at the women or at the people or at the homosexuals screwing up and all that. I get pissed off at the ministries that ain't hitting on nothing. That's these wolves in sheep's clothing, fleecing the flock, kick your money up here, the pyramid scheme, and you ain't doing nothing for the flock. That's what I get pissed at. And Koya tell you, see, Koya hear this. She watched Spiritual Combat, but trust me, Koya get the raw, uncut. She see me when I'm angry over, the oppression of our people, and I see where people could end it, and they ain't doing it for filthy lucre's sake. So she be hearing that. Y'all not privy to that. Some of my inner circle team, Spiritual Combat team, they hear it too. They but they speak the same way. So, but we're not gonna get on here and be disorderly, And the thing is, it's a programming of the mind, y'all. My Akalaya put rebellion in speech and attitude as some of our women's only delays the progress of forward momentum in the family. They are the same ones complaining they can't find a good man. Men are reclaiming. Yeah. And that's another problem. It's like a lot of our sisters are single, or these women, and let me speak on that for a sec real fast, because this ties right in what we're talking about. It goes back to, they're not, the shepherds ain't shepherding the flock. And these women are out here fighting with themselves, wrestling in their own mind, and they're unaware of it. They can't see it. And nobody's helping them shine light on what's going on inside their head and why they can't get up out of that. It's demons. And in order for you to bring a demon out, you got to want it out. Well, in order for you to want it off you, you got to know it's there. This is why you got to have humility. Okay? So if you, that's why I tell people, go read Proverbs. If you read Proverbs going to force you, like if you read Proverbs in without pride, it's going to force you to look at yourself. You feel me? Yeah, it's going to force you to look at yourself. Now, for those of you in, like, because that's why I'm glad a lot put that in there. Like what I do for people is for brothers and sisters in relationships. for brothers and sisters in relationships, you know, I teach the brothers, hey, look, this is how you got to deal with that spirit in your woman, because you entered into that covenant. It's up to you to lead her up out of that, you know. And like, I got whole lessons on that, you know. Sometimes you got to give them a 30-day snooze, like it got on Facebook. Somebody acting up too much, like, all right, let me give them a 30-day snooze. You don't see nothing they doing. You just leave for 30 days or a couple days or a couple hours or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we get in on it. All right. Hey, Shalom, Pastor Johnson. And Pastor Johnson is, real fast, he's one of my brothers right here. Highly respect him, right here in Jacksonville, Florida. And don't get it twisted, you know, because Pastor Johnson will call himself a Christian Hebrew, but he not a Christian Hebrew in that sense, because they very much keep Torah and are vocal about keeping a standard of excellence among their congregation down there in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So if you were in the South Florida area, check that brother out. Go on out there. He's right there on Facebook right now. I'm sorry, on YouTube right now. He's on there watching. You'll see him in the comments. Just click on that thing. And yeah, if you need somebody to fellowship with, man, I've been down there with that brother. I've talked to him for hours on the phone. Fellowship with him. Koya met his wife. She's a, again, because that's a sign for me. And like, I watch your wife, I could tell a lot what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But his wife has a meek, humble spirit, good with kids, all that. So, yeah, you know, so that's why I rock with that out down there, man. So anyway, so let me go back to my notes. Let me go back to my notes real quick, because there's some other stuff I want to hit on with this thing. But because what I'm trying to say with this lesson, you might say, what are you trying to say? Majority of y'all, your concept of what's good, what's righteous, what's biblical, majority of people is fake. Is what you've been, this is the deception of Christianity, or that Babylonian religion that they've deceptively titled Christianity. What the deception of it is that good feelings are righteousness and hurt feelings are evil. And when people say stuff that hurts my feelings, they're being evil. You know what I'm saying? And that's bullcrap. And then they go to scriptures like, the fruits of the Spirit are patience and long suffering. And what they subliminally do is say, you should never point out what's going on. No, I'm going to be patient with you. And I'm a long sufferer. But there comes a time, just like Christ, when he dealt with his bride, the church, there came a time when his patience ran out and he just brought the fury down upon you. Okay? So what they do is misconstrue words like patience and long suffering and love and cupcakes and flowers and Disney World and all this crap, when love is hurt feelings. Like, sometimes hurt feelings are the most effective tool of change. And I know people don't like that, because women are very sensitive and their emotions affect them a lot. But sometimes you got to affect their emotions in order to get them to come out of wickedness. Sometimes you got to come straight down the middle at a woman and be like, look, you're a murderer. You're an unrepentant murderer. Repent, because you've murdered babies in your womb. Repent, or you're going to die in that. And that hurts to say something like that to somebody. It don't feel good. And what these fake churches and these fake Hebrews out here, what they do is sit there and they coddle them so they could get money up off them. Y'all know the verses, you know, beguiling silly women, leading them astray, taking their money. You know, I got one in here. Let me see. It says okay, well I had the verse here. But yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all could post the verses in there or whatever. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get you to look at yourself. But I'm also trying to show you the real from the fake. The real don't always feel good. The real will check your ass in a second. Okay? The fake feels good. You know what I'm saying? And it's what I'm saying is so heavy because the deception of Babylon is through the carnal nature, through the flesh. It's pleasing to the flesh. McDonald's is convenient and looks good. Like everything in this nation is pleasing to the eyes, ears, and the nervous system. Sin. We just keep it basic. We keep it basic 100. Sin is pleasing to the eyes, ears, nose. It's pleasing to your nervous system. Yeah, otherwise, folks wouldn't be fighting to do it. You know? But what you have to do is align your nervous system, your carnal nature. You got to align that with the word. And that can be painful. If your ministry ain't teaching that, run. Because eventually, what you're going to do, you're going to have a painful life, frustrating, and you're going to have to go to them to get your emotional high every weekend and give them your money for that emotional sugar high they gave you for your emotions, for your carnal nature. They're going to give you a carnal high, and you're going to pay them for it, and then you're going to go back and get drained again by the sin that you're walking around with, by the unrepentance you're walking around with. Then when the weekend comes around, you're going to have to pay them for that fix of emotional high, and you're going to keep moving. As opposed, you get up under somebody that's teaching, coming down the middle, like spiritual, like me, Spiritual Combat, or some of these other ministries. It don't feel good. Most of y'all don't want to hear Pastor Dow come down the middle of, why you gonna say it like that? He banging on them emotions of yours. I'm banging on them. Some of the stuff, some of these words I say, I'm talking spirit. And you see what I'm saying? Because what the Bible says is spirit. It ain't no, this ain't spirit. That's excitement. This truth is spirit. Worship in spirit and in truth. Praise and worship is doing, a good big part of that is doing what the book say. They got y'all twisted up and deceived out here, man. So sister put addressing sin is supposed to be uncomfortable because it disrupts our flesh, which is Yah's enemy. I'm telling you, you gotta get your carnal nature aligned with this book. You gotta go through the pain. I purposely named this thing Spiritual Combat. On purpose. I wear camouflage all the time or something to remind me I'm in a war. I keep my fringes on because I know I'm in a war. You know what I'm saying? Everything is warfare over here. You know, I'm comfortable being in you know, I don't like soft stuff. All right. All right. So let me so let's see. It says it says we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And like I said, what these ministry, a lot of these ministries out here are demon feeders. They feed the demons. Keep them happy and comfortable in your spirit. Spiritual combat. Hey, we teach you how to run them up out of there. Give them, I tell you, hey, put this eviction notice on that door. And then when you come back, come with the sword. All right? Let's see. So, one of the scriptures, all right, and y'all say shalom to Koya. She's in there. Say shalom to Koya. She's in there. And she put, healing begins at repentance and confession and having a true, sincere desire to change and walk in truth. What these ministries do is tell you, you're okay, brother. You're all right. You know, it's them. Oh, those people don't have to say stuff like that. That's abusive language. Wait, do it line up with the book? Oh, yeah, he came down the middle with that. But is it book? Are our women doing that? You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at stuff. But what they're doing is speaking guile. And let's pull up what guile is. Like I said, I broke this down a couple weeks ago. Let me see if I can bring it up. And then what I'm going to do is, let's see. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, y'all got to listen to what I'm saying. I'm just showing you what I'm saying is just, you know, it's just basic, simple, biblical book. What was Christ saying where these people were like grinding their teeth and they wanted to kill him? He was coming straight down the middle. And some of these ministries is just like, you know, the Oprah Winfrey show, just instead they just stamped the Hebrew on there. Instead of Oprah, it's Hebrew. And they just get women to go, mm-hmm, yeah, sis, mm-hmm, yeah, preach it, yeah. If they get you to nod your head, they know that money coming out of your pocket. You think I'm playing? And I'm hey. All right, so hold on. So if you want to spot deception, I'm just telling you. It feels good. That's a key sign. And like that, the Louisiana LSU football physical training coach or whatever. They got him on there. They were like, he was telling them players, they was in the weight room working out. He's like, if it feels good, you're not doing it right. That's what that dude said. He said, if it feels good, you ain't doing it right. Hey, Sayla, yeah, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I appreciate, man, that really helps, man. Appreciate you. So let's see. Correct. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all something. If I for the word so look. Hold on, y'all bear with me. I'm gonna find this gotta make it smaller. But I'm gonna show y'all something. Okay, so check this out. Okay. Because like I said, I don't need to lay down 100 scriptures. All I gotta do is speak what the book say. You know, because I've watched people, they will go through 20 scriptures and show you 20 levels deep, all this stuff and all this crazy stuff, and ain't help you do nothing but just become an educated sinner. You know what I'm saying? But look at this. Check this out, because this is heavy. All right. And I'm going to show you how they play on these words. It said, and I'll put it up here. All right. Let me, okay. So this is, I'll put it on the screen. I'll make it big so y'all can see it. This is Proverbs. No, it's not Proverbs. It's 1 Peter, the one below it. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. It says, For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile. And the way I always understood that was, and the way they'll kind of make you feel about that is, you see Pass up there hugging up and doing all that weird, with them women. You shouldn't talk about that among yourselves. You shouldn't talk about some of the silliness you see with some of these women or men in leadership. Like, keep your lips away from evil. They act like it's evil to talk among yourselves about silliness you seeing happen publicly. And this is only one aspect. But they act like that is what evil is. No. Now, watch this. I'm going to show you what evil is. Look at the definition of guile. Guile, insidious, cunning in attaining a goal, crafty or artful deception, duplicity. So when they're sitting there giving you these Bible lessons that are designed to get you to shake your head and give them money and not tell you the truth, they're just tiptoeing through the tulips so they don't offend you. You see what I'm saying? That's guile. That's them teaching. They're doing guile. When they're guilting you into being up under their ministry and giving you all their money, that is guile. Guile isn't, man, why is Pastor wearing a Jerry curl wig? That's not guile. That's you speaking truth. You like, yeah. Why does he wear guy makeup and get his eyebrows trimmed also? That's suspect. What's up with that? You questioning stuff. That's not guile. Guile is like that lesson I did, 48 Laws of Power. That book by Robert Greene. If you want to know what guile is, read the 48 Laws, and I wouldn't even read the whole book. You could just read the chapter headlines and the chapter, one paragraph chapter outlines on it. And you don't even have to buy the book. It's free online. You can find it. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene and The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. A lot of people say those are the handbooks that these churches use to manipulate. They use that book more than the Bible to keep these congregations up under them so that they can get money off you. They're seducing you. And it's guile. It's evil. And me calling out these silly clowns and like me and my inner circle, we watch the silliness that people put out on Facebook and YouTube publicly. We watch it and we'll get on the phone and we talk about the silly, stupid stuff y'all be on there saying and how dumb how dumb it is and how destructive what you're teaching is. And what y'all try to do is use verses like this. Let your lips refrain from speaking evil. Oh, we speaking righteousness. Because you done we ain't speaking on stuff we don't know. See, that's the other thing people don't know. Backbiting. I don't backbite. And what you're deceived into thinking is that backbiting is somebody do a silly message, being manipulative, speaking guile in their message, and me and my ox, we sit there and we will dissect your silliness. Okay? But that's not backbiting. Backbiting, if I'm sitting there like, yeah, he probably do this, or I bet he do this. Now you're speaking on stuff that you don't know. You can't validate. But I can speak on your silly message that you got up there and put out to the public for consumption. And we do often. Because we like to mark the false prophets. Yeah, he phony. Yeah, he fake. Yeah, he ain't coming down the middle. But I'm telling you, it's a deception out there. They got it twisted. Okay? It's deceptive out there. They got it twisted upside down. They got you thinking the good is bad, and the bad, the guy who, hey brother, hey, how you, and all nice and speaking. That's how Satan come to people. And like my man beloved Dawood, mind culture, like they said, snake and lion don't move alike. Snakes and lions do not move alike. They don't move alike. They don't. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. But they got you thinking the snake is the lion and the lion is the snake. So bringing it back, it's like, that's why, like, people like, well, why, like, Pastor Dow, why I have zero issues with him. Because I don't have to guess where the brothers stand. I don't, like, rack my brain trying to figure out, all right, what do he mean by that? Nah, the dude say something, and you know what he mean. All my people, my whole team, in the inner circle, my whole inner circle team, that's the one thing that's consistent with all of them. You ain't got to guess. Like, I can assume with almost 99 or more % accuracy what they're going to do. With my wife, Koya, I can assume exactly what she could assume that if I go off somewhere, I'm doing what I told her I was going to do. She could assume when I tell her, hey, I want to do this, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But that's my problem. You run into a lot of these people, they tell you something, it's vague, and you're like, but now, and you're trying to, well, what do you mean? Well, did that, it's like, because they speak in guile. They're operating in guile, man. Like I said, man, I'm just trying to be 1,000 down the middle. You know what I'm saying? And show you that what you think is so evil is actually the good. And what you think is so good is actually the evil. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So and that's why I titled the lesson, I'll put it back up here. Biblically righteous versus self-righteous. That's why the lesson's titled that. Because folks do not, folks don't see the deception. All right? I wrote here, I will because look, if a dude's off, he out of order, and like our men can be, I will check him. I'll check a dude. I'll straight check him. I don't care how he feel, but I get it right up in his face and hey man, let him know how I feel, look him in the eyes, whatever. But I check a woman too. But you feel the emotion that rises up when you say that? Yeah, I'll check a woman if she off and get right up in her face and look her in the eyes and tell her where she off. But you see the different emotion that comes up in you because you've been programmed? See, Pastor Dow could come, if Pastor Dow came down and was like, you sorry men, blah, 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 step up to the plate, or if I came down and came like that, yeah, y'all be feeling yeah. But then when he turned to the women, everybody, or what I just said, now that another emotion arises in you, well, that's a spirit, dude. That's the programming of Babylon. And that's why I'm saying with this lesson, I'm not just going to tell you, I'm going to show you. That's why I'm trying to show you through your emotions where, hey man, this place is heavy. This place is deceiving you at the most crucial level through your emotions. Shakab put something heavy here. He said, we have been in error so long that when we hear the truth, it hurts like a mug. Bro, I'm so glad you put that in there, because I see people, and this is only because I've been through it. I see people because the stuff I've had to face in myself and the spiritual development and work I've had to do. When I see people like doing spiritual development strengthens your discernment. So now, a lot of times, I'm telling you, sometimes I try to turn my discernment off. So because I realize that was wrong, but I try to ignore my discernment. Okay. And I recently realized I can't do that. I just got to look at things for what they were, because the Most High gave that to me. But I see people in leadership positions where they've neglected areas of their spirit for so long that it's festered into a big wound. And even if it touches a little, it hurts so bad that they look at correction as grievous. What's that scripture? What's the scripture we talking about? Correction is grievous to a fool. Okay? And what's a fool? A fool, because here's another deception. People think fools are somebody running around laughing, acting like an idiot or whatever. No, that's an idiot. That's what I just said. A fool is just a stubborn person. A person who will not receive correction. That's all a fool is. Okay? So let's look up that word grievous. I'm going to pull up the definition of that word grievous. I'm going to make it bigger and put it up here on the screen. Hopefully. Okay. Let me make it bigger so y'all can see the definition. Of something bad, very severe or serious. Okay, it's grievous. Let's see if there's a better definition. General grievous. No, that's grievous. And you see what I'm getting at, though. You see what I'm saying. I know y'all see what I'm saying. Hold on. Let me get a better definition of it. There we go. All right. Causing or characterized by severe pain, suffering, or sorrow, a grievous wound or grievous, apprehensive, onerous, serious, grave fault. So that I think that first one really made it drove home what the book's saying. Proverbs is saying. It said correction is grievous to a fool. If y'all know that scripture, put it in there so I can pull it up, man. Okay? If y'all know the scripture, put it in there so I can pull it up. Hey, and y'all say shalom to Elder Rufus, Straightway, Georgia. He's over that congregation out there. He leads that congregation in Straightway, Georgia. So say shalom to him, welcome him. Oh, and shalom, y'all say shalom, Pastor Dow, because he's in there too. Pastor Dow's in there watching. And Pastor Dow, we do, y'all are welcome to join. I understand that you're going to be busy today, but we have a prayer line, it's a men's prayer line we have after this show. And the brothers reached out to me and said they just wanted you to come in and give a word of encouragement to the men on there on the prayer line. It starts right after this show at 10 o'clock. And they just wanted to know if you could come in and give a brief word of encouragement on the men's prayer line. You're welcome to come on there too. Elder Rufus, give a brief word of encouragement on the men's prayer line. It's right after this show. I'll put the information up, the phone number in a second. And I have Koya email it to you too. But yeah, so yeah, we could do that. All right, so they gave me the scripture here. And it's Proverbs. Appreciate y'all putting that there. Proverbs. Y'all see how slow I type? I'm like, man, that dude's slow as hell. Yeah. So Proverbs. Whoops. Yeah, I ain't the fastest typer. Corey type real fast. All right. But I got in there. All right. It says, correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way. And he that hateth reproof shall die. Reproof is correction. Reproof is correction. It's correction, y'all. And it says they will die. Okay? So yeah, that's heavy. And like I said, y'all know I got the series where I'm going verse by verse through Proverbs. I think we are on chapter like 14 or something now. And it's funny, man, because when we started out with our verse by verse Proverbs study, it's funny that the first couple chapters is telling you over and over again, forsake not wisdom, listen, understand, get understanding, get understanding, understand, make sure you understand, get wisdom, get understanding. It's telling you that over and over and over and over. And what do they say when the Most High repeats something? And it's just all the way through, it's just driving that home. You know what I'm saying? So real fast, what I'm going to do, let me do this real quick. I am going to put the men's prayer line number up there. Haji is going to stand it up. Let me see what the brothers told me. Hey, Elder Elia, go ahead and make sure Haji or Yehukanan or one of the brothers going to confirmation they're going to stand up the prayer line for me. And I'm going to put this up here for y'all. Sister Koya designed the prayer thing. And I was like, nah, you gotta make that more masculine. It looked all cute when she designed it. I was like, nah, you gotta put some camouflage on that thing. I was like, you gotta toughen that thing up. She had it looking cute. I was like, baby, this a men's prayer line on this thing. She's like, whatever. But yeah, she did it. She is very good with design and stuff like that. That's why, you know, she's always a blessing. Is always a blessing. So this is the information up here for the men's prayer line. It's 9:41. So and like I said, if one of y'all could contact your Hookanon or Haji, let me know if they're gonna be bringing it up, getting it up and going. If they are, send me a text so I know who's gonna get it up and running. And yeah, we'll be good there. But yeah, that's the information. The prayer line will be up and running right around 10 o'clock. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is just go through the comments, questions, answers, whatever. And let's see what we got. Patricia said it's going to take a real battle to deprogram a people that have been programmed by a system that was designed to destroy them. It's a lot of work to be done among us. We must admit we need help, and we do. And I want to say this because this is why what's going on, everything's so significant, like what happened this weekend and all that, because I didn't know all the answers, but I knew just doing Bible studies on the weekend is not going to cut it for where we need to get to. We need, it said meditate on this word day and night. And it said, be ye not hearers of the word, but be ye doers, and I didn't quote the scripture perfectly, but it's pretty accurate. But it said, be ye not hearers, deceiving yourselves. And that is what I was talking about in this lesson. A lot of our people have this deceived themselves with this word. Okay. They have a phrase for what it is. It's called mental ascension. So you've ascended and feel righteous in your mind because of the knowledge you have, but you're not putting it in the practice. So yeah, it's called mental ascension. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's what we call it. All right. Hold on one sec. So let me see what other comments y'all are putting here. What do you say to people, especially men, who rather enjoy the pleasure of sin, knowing truth, but continue to question and ignore what's righteous? What do I say to them? The spiritual combat stance on that is tell them once, tell them twice, keep it moving. I won't skip a beat, distancing myself from leaders and people who off. I've done it, and I do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, you watch people's footwork, it's gonna tell you everything. What do I mean when I say watch their footwork? I mean, watch how folks is moving. Watch what they're saying and doing, and just watch everything and don't just listen to what people are saying. Okay? So yeah. I'm reaching out to the brothers to help them. Hey, Shalom. Hey, reach out to Hodge and Eliah and see who's gonna get the prayer line up, or you, or whoever's gonna.
I just text. We texting back and forth. Okay.
Okay, that's cool. All right. Shalom. All right. So yeah, they're already working on it, getting it up. The spiritual combat prayer soldiers. So. All right, so Sister Shirley put Psalms 1:1. Okay, all right, and that's our brother Haji. He said, Shalom prayer line will be up at 9:55. All right. So Psalms We're going to go to Psalms. Okay, Psalms 1:1. And let's see what the sister gave us here. She said, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. And what we're going to do, I want y'all to see, and I want me to see too, but I'm pretty sure I know what scornful is, okay? The definition of that. Feeling or expressing contempt or derision, okay? So mocking, scoffing, jeering, sneering, disparaging, slighting, and all that, okay? And again, this goes back to passive-aggressive behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like sneak dissing and covert moves and folks not being straight up and all that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let me get this back up here. So, all right. There we go. All right, let's see what y'all saying there. It says, there's also a spiritual ascension which we have all experienced coming out of spiritual Babylon and awaken our Hebraic heritage. Our spiritual frequency is now more in tune with Yah and his Holy Spirit. Exactly. And I'm going to tell you, I'm glad you put that there because, like, for instance, with me and Sister Coy, it's like there's plateau. So I'll quickly take you through it. Like with me, when I was in Christianity, okay, and I made that declaration. I was like, Most High, wherever this truth take me, you know what I'm saying, I'ma go, okay? Like wherever you take, no matter how crazy it is. Because I felt like, hey, there's a next level to this stuff. So I began studying. I'm studying all these Christian teachers. And I'm like, there's something missing. And then I had the Hebraic awakening. It came because I knew there was something else. I began studying that. Well, let me go back. I was studying the Christianity and I realized something was blocking me. And I had demons on me. I went through that. Then I began going deeper into the Christianity and I realized there was still something missing. And it was the Hebraic, Hebrew Israelite understanding. I began going deep into that. And I realized there was something else. And I realized I needed to start teaching. All right. But then I kept going. And I realized there's something else. And I was like, what is it? And I was like, we have to start living this thing out in our lives. Because I'm here on a spiritual level, but there's another level to this thing, and this is the latest revelation in the past couple months that culminated in the answer coming over the past week or 2 weeks, where I got up there and Pastor Dow showed the next level. We have to come together, not just on a spiritual level where we meet on the weekends, but we have to begin, now that we've developed to that level, we have to come together on a level where we can begin to take this oppression off ourselves economically, career, as far as, it's not such a burden on us career-wise, dietary-wise, family-wise, where we're pulling our kids out to school. Our wives aren't having to be out here. Our wives are being used to build our nation. And, so come together on that level, which, just so y'all know, exactly the practical application of this thing, yes, spiritually, and getting these demons off us, but also economically, coming together with group economics, because it said, gather yourselves together, not, oh, congregation. And let me show y'all this real fast, okay? It said, look at the definition of Congregation. Look at the definition of this. It says a group of people assembled for religious worship. Okay? But look at the definition of nation. The definition of nation is where are you at? It says a nation is a stable community, and we'll look up that too. Y'all bear with me. Is a stable community of people formed on the basis of a common language, territory, history, ethnicity, or psychological, or what we would put spiritual makeup manifested in a common culture. Okay? So there's a difference. And it said, gather yourselves together, O nation. And O nation what? Not desired. By what? These other nations. So now we've gotten our minds right to where we can be around each other and there not be a bunch of contention. So now we can live in closer quarters and begin to pool our resources together. I.e., in Acts, they said they took all they had, sold it, put it before the apostles' feet, and then the apostles brought pink Cadillacs? No. They put it before the or purple Cadillac. They put it before the apostles' feet, and they took it and they distributed it among the people as each had need. And they were able to do that because everybody had their mind right. And they understood that, and what time is it? Okay, so we still good on time. And they understood that everybody brought something to the table. Like what I was talking to, because I've been getting so many calls after they saw the those videos and the lessons that Pastor Dow and Ron Dalton brought forth. A lot of people in their spirit, it was something they knew. That was the answer. Like there's an awakening. Like a lot of people knew that was what needed to happen. They just needed answers and confirmation. But these other nations don't desire us. And let me get back on point with what I was saying. What we need to understand, people don't understand the assets that they have. A lot of people think the asset is money. Well, I have people around me and they have money. Me, I don't have my asset, I don't have too much money and I don't have a lot of time. But I have a lot of know-how and a lot of connections. Okay? We have other people, they don't have know-how and connections, but they have money and time. We have some people who don't have no money and don't have any know-how, but they got a lot of time. These are valuable assets. And when you put those together, it just, you see what I'm saying? So for me, the asset of knowledge isn't very valuable to me, but time and money, helps out. Okay? To the other people, the know-how and the connections are priceless to them. Their money and their time, it really ain't that valuable because they have an abundance on it. And this is like the amazing thing that Pastor Dow brought out this weekend. That's on the next level. But you can't do this if you don't got your mind right. So if you sitting up in there, up under these clowns that's keeping you passive so that they can actively take your money, you're not going to get this. This ain't going to make sense to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I did this lesson today. Being biblically righteous versus being self-righteous. So, and when I say self-righteous, be like, oh yeah, they coddle you into self-righteousness, and then you don't really get that true growth. And when you come into community, when you begin doing community for real, when you do what brothers like Amir Ryder's doing, Okay, shout out to Mirada and his Akoti Nina. And those brothers and sisters up there, they're doing community. They're 3 families in a house, pooling resources, coming up out of this, not serving debt. Because the Bible said the debtor is servant to the lender. You're serving. You're in bondage. So this is the next level. But think about what I'm saying. It's easy to keep Torah when you're in your comfort zone or think you keep in Torah. But when you come into close quarters with another family or other people and you living closer and dealing with people and coming together as a nation, oh man, your little issues come to the surface. You begin to see yourself. I know this from being in the military. We were in the Middle East. When I was in the Air Force, we were in the Middle East, out in the desert, living in tents, around each other 24/7, okay? The tents, it'd be like, 12 people or something to a tent. I have to count, but it is a lot of people in that tent. And you'd quickly see folks' weaknesses. It's like, dude, like somebody come up to you, like there'd be one dude in there like, dude, when you get off work, wash your damn feet because you stink. And the whole tent stink. It'd be every little thing. And you had to learn to, at first it hurt your daggone feelings, but then you had to learn to, live together. And I did it with people from other nations, and they come to me and check me on stuff. They'd be like, hey man, you can't keep getting in and out of the bed and waking me up and shaking the bed and this, that, So I'd have to make sure I had everything up there because I had to be considerate of him because he was being considerate of me. And this is with other nations. It's hard with our people, dude. Especially, that's why it's imperative. Like this Torah comes, you really see the brilliance of the Most High Yah when you see what's in this Torah and how you can live in real close, cramped quarters and not have a bunch of issues. A lot of these big mouth women and emaciated men, you could not be anywhere near them without there being a bunch of craziness and dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to brothers like Mirada. We got Elder Rufus. Pastor Dow is like, man, he really wants people to understand what he's doing. Like, see what he's doing and see the benefit of it. And like I said, he's flying me and the whole family out there to his straightway community to see this and document it and talk to the people and see what's going on. Because just so y'all know, I know I've been like, because I've been real busy. I haven't seen my Jacksonville congregation for a while. But it's because there's some huge things getting put in place right now that's going to benefit everybody. And Koya can confirm that I've been busy. Literally been on the phone. I be on the phone sometimes for like 8 hours of the day just talking to people, putting things in place, getting stuff set up. Yeah, it's an exciting time. So yeah, but yeah, so one last thing, the last thing I want to say, 2 things. Tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, our Lorvins is doing his album release party. Got a new album coming out. He's made songs for Seed of Israel and Ron Dalton. He made the Spiritual Combat theme song, which I'll play that when I take y'all out so y'all can hear that. And he's had some actually major music artists reach out to him when they saw that broadcast we did up there in Detroit. So it's like he's gonna be I told y'all when I first brought him out, when he made the song for my show, I was like, y'all might not know who he is now. Y'all gonna know who he is? Well, y'all gonna really, I'm telling you, this brother, he hasn't even started to grow yet. Real talk. But you'll see what happens in the future. He's gonna be the first major, Hebrew celebrity or something, because his music is really reaching people. Okay. The other thing is tomorrow. This is a thing, we're gonna do it every Sunday. I'm gonna have Brother D on. If y'all heard me talk before, Pastor Dow did his lesson the day before, I sat down and had lunch with some of the brothers from Straightway. And so Brother D's gonna come on here. And what I'm doing, I'm showing y'all the different steps of community, all the way up to when you're at the Pastor Dow level, where you got a fully functioning, self-sustaining community. Brother D is going to be talking about the early stages, the first step that anybody could take in doing what we're talking about. So he's going to be on there. So it's going to be, you're going to see what I'm talking about. That's why I didn't go all into it. And it's going to show you how to get out from under this oppression. First you have to get out from under it in your brain, in your mind. And then you have to get out from under it in literally, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to show you how to do it, and it's going to be book. Okay. So definitely tune in for that, man. A lot of big things going on, man. This call into the men's prayer line. It's heavy, you know what I'm saying? We got some prayer warriors on there and some straight soldiers. And then afterwards, we fellowship and chop it up on there also. What I'm going to do here is, let me see. I don't even see it. Yeah, I know where to go. Y'all bear with me. So, yeah, but yeah, so definitely tune in tonight at 7:30 or around 7:30. We might not get started exactly on time, but definitely check it out. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take y'all out with the Spiritual Combat song. And appreciate y'all tuning in. If you want to support Spiritual Combat, the way to do it is hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell if you're on YouTube, okay? If you're on Facebook, same thing. Hit the like button, share the video, follow me on the Spiritual Combat business page. My profile page, the Michael Israel profile page, is just full, okay? But on the Spiritual Combat business page, go ahead and hit that follow and mess with those things on there so that you can receive notifications when I go live. I go live pretty often. Next weekend, I will be in Houston. I don't think... Excuse me. Been talking too much. Gotta drink some more. All right. I don't think I'm going to be doing a Shabbat lesson. I got to see how my schedule looks because it's pretty hectic when I'm out on the road. I'm going to be doing some big things out there. I'm going to be sitting down and talking with a Nigerian prince out there. We're going to interview him for one of Ron's upcoming movies. And then we're also going to talk some business type stuff too. So it's going to be awesome. So somebody said, I need help with money, but I have to study till they help me. Is wrong if I do that. Just email me what you're talking about. But what you're going to find when Brother D comes on here tomorrow, for those of you who are struggling with money, you're going to see how what we're talking about is just the simple answer. But the main thing, you got to have your mind right. You can't be a mess. Okay? Yeah. All right, so we'll get into all that. But what I'm going to do, y'all, is appreciate y'all tuning in. And I'm going to take it out with the Spiritual Combat theme song that Lorvin's made. Definitely tune in for the event tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Lorvin's album release party. It's going to be awesome.
We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's time to get into formation. We gotta get ready for the battle. So call on your brothers and sisters. We gotta turn back to the scriptures. Stop making it all about you. Them preachers, they got it confused. Come out of her. Cause Yahuwah is our deliverer. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, cause nobody's perfect. We're called by his name. We're called by his name. Seek him to be worthy. We should be coming together. There's power in unity. It's time to come into the order, cause we are a living prophecy. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. Lace up them boots. We gotta move step mode, put on camouflage. We gotta be wise. Open your eyes to the most high in the sky. We must stop arguing, it's irrelevant. We must live in the Torah, it's heaven sent. He will put it in your heart, fulfilling the word of the new covenant. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, cause nobody's perfect. We're called by his name. We're called by his name. Seek him to be worthy. We should be coming together. There's power in unity. It's time to come into the order, cause we are a living prophecy. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat.